Welcome to the 23rd Jackie's Proof Animals Have Souls and Psychics show, produced through Passionate World Talk Radio, a subsidiary of Global Media Network. My website is jackiejoneshunt.com, and Jackie is spelt as J-A-C-K like the boy's name Jack, and add I-E on the end for Jackie, Jones, J-O-N-E-S, Hunt, Hunt.com. If you've listened to my show before, you'll know I'm a psychical researcher, historian of spirituality, lecturer, and decades-long vegetarian for compassionate reasons, and author of 3 books, Proof Animals Have Souls, 500 plus celebrities go vegetarian, and Moses and Jesus the Shamans, mediums. Moses and Jesus the Shamans, amongst many other things, reveals the politically orientated biblical mistranslations of the Orthodox Church, condemning mediumship, when it was, in fact, an ancient tradition. It's ancient Jewish and Hebrew tradition to consult seers, prophets, dream interpreters, judges and oracles, to learn spiritual wisdom and predictive guidance. And yet the Orthodox Church put biblical mistranslations in the Bible, which has caused people even today to be suspicious of mediumship. But these are spiritual gifts. And those mistranslations that I mention in the Bible, in my book, led to the 16th and 17th century witch hunts, and thousands of innocents were killed. So, having introduced the show, I'd like to now introduce Christian, who is a medium, who's come to the 23rd show, and he became a working medium 9 years ago. He serves spiritualist churches and centres, and he does one-to-one private sittings. Christian lives in Ainsdale, in the northwest of England. He has 3 children in spirit, and he works in education. And Christian describes himself as both a psychic and a medium. So welcome to the show, Christian. It's a pleasure to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here as well. Thank you for having me, Jackie.
Oh, it's a pleasure, thank you. And I will give you the Facebook and email address for Christian in the blog. And he doesn't have a website as yet. So that will all be in the blog anyway. So I'm going to ask Christian some questions, and I'll just leave it with Christian to give his thoughts. So when did you first see spirit people and spirit animals, Christian?
It was 9 years ago when I first started seeing adult and spirits, and obviously animal spirits as well.
Okay, that's great. Did that frighten you?
It gave me comfort, to be fair. It was obviously due to losing people that were close to me, so it gave me great deals of joy to obviously have special friends come through the walls, doors, and whichever way they come in.
To know that life goes on after physical death. Would you say that you're clairvoyant seeing, clairaudient hearing, clairsentient sensing, claircognizant knowing, or a psychic artist? Which, if any, or all, would you say that is you?
Well, with all due respect, it's all of the above except the psychic artist, but it's something that I'm looking to add to my skill set, should we say, and hopefully introduce that into my next service, which is yet to be confirmed, but it's hopefully going to be very shortly.
Excellent. Did you work hard to develop your abilities?
Yes, I did. I just gave it, like anything in life, you just need to give it time, and what's meant to happen will happen. You know, that's the way that I work in everyday life. Yes,
you give it your all. So would you say you were a medium from birth? It seems that you've been working sort of more professionally for the past 9 years, but did you feel you were born with the mediumship gift?
Yes, it goes to say that when I was a 4-year-old child, I had that special friend, obviously getting looked at by adults, i.e. my family. I'm obviously one of 4, and you know I'm the youngest, and obviously with it, a lot of children are open up to that, as are animals as well. They're very susceptible and vulnerable to this. But I was about 4 years of age when I had my special friend, and I didn't know why or who it was, but obviously just working on myself and understanding things and taking time for me to realise what actually happened, I can quite clearly say I was 4 years of age when this came about.
So was it a boy or a girl, your special friend?
It was a boy, and his name was Luke.
And he used to go about with you?
Everywhere I went.
Not just you wouldn't be at school at 4, so outside playing?
Nursery, playing at home.
He was with you?
He was with me, and it threw me when I used to visit family that lived a long distance, because it was just the last person I was expecting to be with me, or let alone be with me, but to see.
Yeah. And did anybody else see him?
No.
And did they think you were crazy?
Yeah, and to be fair, it's something that is still the case now. It's obviously it's a respectful boundary. It's my thing that I have in my life, and I just don't push it on toes of my family, because again, everyone's a little bit unsure whether mediumship or spirit and life goes on afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's just something I don't talk about. I enjoy it, and it's just something that if I'm able to help somebody along the way, then it's something that
you feel duty bound to do.
I feel duty bound to do, to be fair.
Well, near-death experiencers, children blind from birth, who wake up in the morgue with their death certificate and talk about seeing relatives that they'd never met in their physical life, who told them it's time to go back, and they see things in their home geographic distances away. That plus evidential mediumship, I think, are some of the best evidence that life goes on after physical death. We're in a room with 5 dogs, so if they contribute to the show, we're in the countryside, so there's a lot of country noises out there from different animals and birds. So can you elaborate on any of the animals that you've seen in spirit, please?
Yeah, I've obviously seen a full array of animals, from fish and all the way up to like the bigger animals that you might see out in the jungles and stuff. So elephants, rhinos, lions, they're quite regular as well. But obviously elephants are, for me, are just tower of strength because of the sheer size of them.
Yeah.
If you've got a scenario where you think I might need to move them, good luck to you if you think you can move them. So it goes well.
Yeah.
If somebody's come on leaps and bounds and you're just giving evidence and you've never seen or met them before, then you give that, then it's big for them to take as well.
Yeah.
And not only that, there's as Jackie said, we're with 5 animals, but I can physically see ducks as well, just pottering around our feet. And
no?
Yeah, I can see them.
Ducks?
Yeah.
Because we are in the countryside, yeah.
So I can see eight ducklings and a mother, and they're just popping.
Walking around this room now?
Walking around with us, yeah.
Thank you. What's motivated you in your work?
Well, obviously there's a lot of grief in this world, and if I'm able to turn a message into something meaningful for somebody to feel a bit uplifted, or again a lot uplifted, then for me that's all that really matters in that sense of it. But again, as Jackie mentioned earlier on, I've got 3 children in spirit, so I've had time out of jobs, and I've had time on medication, time with professionals to help me through. So
yes. So you want to help others through in return? Yeah,
and if somebody can avoid that journey, then I would sooner somebody go a different way to what I've been through.
Yeah.
It hasn't been particularly easy.
Yes.
My 3rd child I had to deliver.
Yeah.
And obviously that was difficult because I'd never done it before.
Yes.
And that was given to me when was in my sleep state, and it was just something that was unexpected, and I didn't know what the noise was, who the noise was, what was going on.
And that was your child that you saw in your sleep state?
Yeah, that was my child, yeah. And I had to wake up and then obviously help my then at the time partner to assist them to give birth. But obviously at that time I was working in health and social care.
Yes.
So as you can imagine, in care homes there's a lot of activity in general, but it's a bit like when you mentioned before about the blind child. Unfortunately there's been lots of elderly who have pointed out other people out in the room, but obviously that's when they're stepping closer to their transition stage whilst
yes
we're given palliative care. But you know, there's just a lot of heaviness, and it doesn't need to be that way. So you know, it's supposed to be upliftment and help people through different stages in their life.
Well, my nana, she left a note when she passed. We found it by her pillow, and she'd written, "I asked them for some more time so that you could all get here. I'd driven down from Scotland, my mum had driven over there from Manchester, and we thought, gosh, she was seeing spirit for her to write. I asked them for a little bit more time, and we all got there to make sure we were with her, and she did get a little bit more time. And my mum was seeing my dad towards her end, and Tony, my husband, his mum, every now and then she'd say, "Oh, hi, Mum, it's lovely to see you." And you could tell she was talking to her husband who'd passed and her mum who'd passed. So it's quite uplifting when you actually see people having those experiences. Do you see auras?
Yeah, I see auras, and you know, as we were speaking and as things are developing, I'm seeing a turquoise all around yourself.
Thank
Jackie,
you.
That's quite significant in a couple of ways. Obviously, to me, it means peace, tranquility, and obviously coastal journeys, and you know, it's almost like there's literally a road ahead.
Yes.
So that's what I see.
So when you say coastal journeys, do you mean actual travel or moving towards the coast?
Moving more towards the coast as opposed to
being in the countryside.
Being in the countryside, yeah. There's that transitional.
Well, that's very accurate, because we are waiting for news from our solicitor to tell us when the house that we want to purchase is ready and available, because the sellers are waiting on their mortgage to come through, and when the mortgage comes through they're ready to move on, which then leaves the house open for us to move into. And yes, it's not so much in the countryside as we are now, it is nearer to the sea.
And with that being said, obviously I've been asking for numbers just whilst you've passed that over, and automatically when I've been the transmitter to spirit is the number 21. So give 24 hours either side of the 21st of September, and I see that's when the keys will cross.
So you think it'll be around about the 21st of September?
Yeah, give or take, either way 24 hours.
Okay, I thought it might even be next week, but the 21st is a little bit further ahead, but thank you for that, that's very helpful.
Yeah, like I say, I can, obviously the view I've got now is a road, so in the road where it's flat I see just a little bump, but obviously buying property or real estate's just...
Is that symbolic, like a little bump in the road?
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. So it's just, everything's fine, it's just that little bit of a bump. You know? Obviously, if you're in a multiple way circle of real estate or buying property, then it can happen.
Yeah.
It happened with me when I bought my house.
Well, they're waiting on their mortgage to come through, so until that comes through, they can't move on. We've only got a few seconds left, really, maybe half a minute. Do you have a spiritual message you could share with listeners in half a minute? And I think we need to do another interview in the future where we can discuss things again in more detail, because this is just the first one. But if there's anything you'd like to offer listeners, that would be great.
Yeah, so what I'm getting at the moment is there's a lot of weight on our listeners' shoulders, and there's scenarios and situations that just need a fine-tooth comb to be run through. But I also see literally an eagle in the sky, and it's soaring above. But I've also got that I can see on the wall in front of me is a phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a new beginning, new phoenix from the flames.
Okay, I'll have to stop you there. So thank you very much, Christian, and Christian's contact details will be in the blog. Thank you very much, and speak to you again soon.